Simon Jones here from HitFilm.com. With the release of HitFilm 2 Ultimate less than 2 days away, we thought we'd take a moment to show you some of the new particle simulator features. I'm going to start off by creating a new particle simulator with a mobile emitter. These have been considerably upgraded for HitFilm 2. First up, I'm going to go into my emitter group and delete the default particle simulator because I'm not going to use it. Instead, I'll add a new mobile emitter. Mobile emitters were in the first version of HitFilm Ultimate, of course, but they've been upgraded for HitFilm 2. For a start, they are now visible, which makes them much easier to work with. Here you can see the default setup, with the mobile emitters coloured red. Each red mobile emitter is emitting its own white particles, hence the name mobile emitter. I'm just going to go into the mobile emitter's movement properties and change the lifetime to 5 seconds so that you can get a better look at what's going on. Even using the default settings, you can see how mobile emitters can be extremely useful for creating things like rockets or fireworks. Okay, I'm going to change the simulation's properties to make it do something more interesting. First up, I'll switch the main emitter's trajectory from random to cone. This ensures that all the mobile emitters are being pushed out in the same direction. I'll actually move the emitter over and up a bit in the frame. Next, I'll add a new force, which can act as my gravity. I'll tweak the properties, increasing the speed of the mobile emitter to 600 and reducing the force strength to 10%. Now I'll add a plane layer, which we can use as a deflector. I'll switch it to 3D, rotate it around by 90 degrees and drop it down to the bottom of the frame. Let's just pull the camera back a little as well. Currently the particles are dropping straight through it. So in the simulation properties, I'll add a new deflector, switch it from cuboid to layer, and then select the plane. I think we can also afford to have a bit more bounce and a bit less friction. All of the particles are bouncing in the same way, so I'll go into the movement variation properties and add some variation to speed, bounce, and friction. Right, it's time to take a look at the new event behaviors. These are simple to use but hugely powerful, and I can't wait to see what some of the particle experts out there get up to with them. You'll find them in the mobile emitter's general group. There are two properties, the activation event menu and the deactivate after event toggle. Currently the activation event is set to birth. That means that the mobile emitter begins emitting particles as soon as it is born. So as you can see, as soon as a red mobile emitter appears, it is also emitting white particles. If I turn on deactivate after event, something rather interesting happens. Now the mobile emitter emits a quick burst of particles when it is first born, but then stops. Let's change the properties of the particle system to make this more obvious. So I'll go into the mobile emitter's particle systems, open this up and change the life to 10 seconds. I'll also drop the scale down to 25% and increase the speed to about 200. You can now easily see that each time a red mobile emitter is born, it explodes out a burst of white particles. I think I'll reduce the bounce and friction settings as well, so that the white particles settle more easily on the deflector plane. Okay, let's try something different, such as switching the activation event from birth to deflector. In this case, you can see that the mobile emitters are only birthing particles when they impact on the plane. Turning off the deactivate after event property results in them continuing to emit after the initial contact. Another option is to use the mobile emitter's death as the activation event. Currently we can't see the mobile emitters dying as it happens off screen, so I'll just reduce the life a little to 2 seconds. You can now see that the red mobile emitters are dying while still on the screen. Changing the activation event to death now gives the impression that the mobile emitters are popping and exploding into smaller particles. As you can imagine, this is incredibly useful for creating fireworks. You can even duplicate mobile emitters and set them up differently if you want to use multiple activation events within the same particle simulation. For another example, here's an enhanced version of a shot we made a while back, utilising mobile emitters to create extra particles upon impact. It makes the interaction between the particles and the spinning cube far more dynamic. Alright, thank you for watching. We'll have lots more HitFilm 2 videos coming along soon. HitFilm 2 is out on November the 1st, 2012, so make sure you keep an eye on hitfilm.com for all the latest news.